Hi, friends. Welcome to Coffee Break with Dr. Michelle Alignay. It's another week. It's almost the end of November, and I would like to ask, how have you been? How have you been the past weeks? There's too many things that happened, and almost at the end of the year, I would like to talk about something that I believe many of you friends who are here, always watching Coffee Break, are in. You are in a marriage. Pero kahit hindi kayo married, I invite friends who are here with me. Join me the rest of the 30 minutes to talk about making marriage work. Bakit, Doc, making marriage work? Is it hard to be married? I believe when we are young, we see marriage differently. But it is real. It is real na mahirap. It is real na there's just so many challenges that we have to admit that we did not anticipate that can happen. But it is good to be married. I would say that it's really wonderful to be married, but it takes work. So let me just hear from the married couple here. Ayan. So hi, Ronette. Hi, Mads. How are you? I would like you to, if you can shoot questions, please do so. But I would like us to reflect, bakit ko napili itong topic na to? I think because I never really zeroed in the topic of marriage. And then this month, my husband and I will be celebrating our wedding anniversary. And kung kaya niyong hulaan kung ilang taon na kaming married, then go for it. Go for it, walang price. But let's just talk about it. Let's just talk about how is married life. Is it, tanungin niyo ako, is it easy? Is it hard? Ano yung pinaka-challenging? Um, that's why I would like for us to go back to basic. I would like for us to just talk about marriage in the plainest language sa pinakatotoong conversation. I would like to ask you, kayo muna yung tatanungin ko. Nung when we were younger, like when you were in high school or college, what's the things that comes to your mind? Ano yung mga naiisip nyo about being married, di ba? Pag kinasal ka, ganyan, what are your mindsets? What are your perceptions of being married? Kasi likely meron eh. Meron tayong mga naiisip na pag kinasal ako, ganito. Pag ako nag-asawa, ganito. When I have my own family, it will be like this. So I would like for you to just put there in the comment section, what are your, sabihin nating, image of a marriage? Anong bagay na sa tingin mo, ito yung gusto mo pag may asawa ka na? Naalala ko when I was younger, when I was in high school, there just too many ideals that are not bad because they're ideals. But what I realized in the years of being married, up to a certain point, you have to really be flexible. You have to be really brave, and you have to really be more open because things happen. So, may natawa ko. So, Ronette, happily ever after. May kasamang ha-ha. And then happy. Hi to everyone who are here. Hi to good friends who are here. Please share this to other friends who might just need to hear it. Last year, when it was our anniversary, I think in my social media, I posted some reflections, my lessons on our anniversary. So let me just go back to those reflections and then let's himayin natin ngayon dito sa coffee break, okay? Okay, this is nice. Jill said, marriage in my head then. We won't argue, always in love, and my husband will be Prince Charming. This is really the fairy tale marriage that we thought we have, no? But honestly, kaya marami, they find marriage difficult because we have been bombarded how in the perfect picture. Kung like me, I'm a sucker for romantic novels before, also fairy tales, but come to think of it, it's not the real deal on marriage. I think our parents did not really prepare many of us, maybe some, but many of us, to the nitty-gritty details of what happens in a marriage. Mad said, ang marriage sa akin before, mahirap at natatapos. Kabaliktaran naman ng happily ever after. Yes, probably. But let me just go through, I'll go through with you 5 points today. Those are my personal reflection. First, it's marriage takes courage. Can you say that with me? Marriage takes courage. Courage. Tapang ng loob, lakas ng loob. Because not all I believe are really fit to be married. May mga tao tayo na kilala parang wow. And it takes courage for you to admit that marriage is not about bed of roses. Marriage is not about uh, Cinderella fairy tale. It's not about romance. Marriage is not about sex and intimacy. It's just not about that. And it takes courage to admit na mahirap. It takes courage to admit also na nahihirapan tayo. It takes courage also to be humble sa isa't isa. And ito yung pinakamalaki nating courage na kailangan when we get married. Alam ko marami sa inyo would agree. Marriage takes courage for us to accept the fact that we cannot change our partners. Tama po ba? Do you agree with me? I'll repeat that. Marriage takes courage for us to admit that we cannot change our partners. Kahit feeling natin nung parang when we were together as boyfriend and girlfriend, hindi magbabago rin yan, hindi yung ways na to. I think pag nagkaanak kami, magkakadireksyon din yung buhay niya. Saan ay napansin ko maraming nasisilat, maraming nasistuck. So here, marriage is not for the sensitive, hindi ina to patwitams. And it's not for the immature. It's really for the courageous. It's really for the open. So if you think, for those of you who are single and listening, if you think that you have a hard time accepting, you have a problem with controlling people, you have a concern with seeing things like everything is a fairy tale. And then you have to recheck, where is your intention? Is marriage just filling up that Cinderella syndrome or that fairy tale fantasy of yours, or marriage is actually something that you would like to continuously work on? So there you go. First thing that I would like you to reflect on: marriage takes courage. And the hardest thing to be courageous about in marriage is that we need to accept our partner as is where is. Sabi nga, I would like you to quote me on this. Marriage is for the mature and the willing. Tama ba? Marriage is for the mature and the willing, especially when you have kids, especially when you have to make adult decisions, especially when you have to think about the finances, think about the plans and the direction of the family. It's really for the mature and the willing. Hindi na to parang literally nagbabahay-bahayan lang. And then that's the first point that I would like you to reflect on. Marriage is for the brave. Another, love is a daily choice. Okay, let's go back, friends. When you were young, what's the first thing that comes to your mind about love? Remember, yung mga ka-generation ko, meron tayong slum book dati. You remember that? So, doon sa slum book, meron dyan, love is. Yan. Yung mga friends ko na nakikinig, I think I'm one of those na lagi ako may slum book. But then, love is what? Before, I never would have realized this. Love is a rosary that is full of mystery. Ano ba yung mga quotations about love before? Of course, there's the Corinthians 13 about love. But what I realize now, that love is a daily choice. There are days that we don't feel loving towards our partner. Maraming nagkasabi na hindi totoong may forever. Kasi, it's a state. It's not forever. It's not a destiny. The forever people say in marriage, it's of course you hope that love is for keeps, but love is for keeps. It's not the feeling of a marriage. Natawa ko sa'yo, SJ. Love is blind. Ganyan. Hindi pala totoo yan. Love is blind. Paano kung binubugbog ka na, love is blind pa ba? Hindi na. So, 'Di ba meron pang love is a rosary that is full of mystery. Eh, paano kung puro sorrowful mystery na lang yung iyong pine-pray? Then it's not gonna be the healthy one kasi you are the one, who is, at the losing end, being psychologically or even physically abused. Kaya maraming nasa-stuck, maraming nata-trap in those mindsets about marriage. That's why when we look at marriage and love, they go together, they go hand in hand. But love is a daily choice. Hindi talaga totoong may forever. Kasi as I said earlier, forever is a state. It is not a destination. Posibleng along the way of being married, you have so many disappointments. Along the way of being married, uh, you find yourself fighting almost every day with your partner, with your spouse. Along the way in your adulthood, in parenting, you find out na magkaiba pala kayo ng priority. Parang suddenly, hindi naman tayo ganyan. Pero bakit ngayon? Um, Paano 'pag nasaktan tayo today or paano kung tayo na nakasakit excuse me for the word, but really shit happens in marriage. And that love can fade, that loving feeling, let's admit it, we wake up not wanting to love our partner. That's why dun papasok yung sinasabi. I think Scott Peck in his book, The Road Less Traveled, who said, love is a daily choice. It's a decision. Because love, when we look up love before, it's always about the feeling. It's always about the loving emotions. Kaya, as I said in the first point, marriage is for the what did I say? What's the first point? Marriage is for the courageous. And then second, love is a daily choice. And also, it takes courage to realize that the love that we thought that was when we were younger, when we were in our teens, in our early 20s, it's not the same kind of love that we should have when we're more mature, when in the middle of parenting, in the middle of midlife, in the middle of a marriage, of a maturing marriage. Loving forever is actually a choice. Hindi totoong may forever, but you choose to stay on with the marriage forever. It's a result of choosing the love despite of differences, despite of minsan busit ka na, gusto mo nang i-eject, gusto mo nang isoli mo na siya sa nanay niya, or ikaw gusto mo munang lumipad ng bahay. Each day, each month, each year, it's always a choice. Hindi rin ako naniniwala, friends, sa sinasabi na love is constant. Because it's really changing. Sino man nagsabi ng love is constant, I hope that you would not change. Ayan, ganyan yung mga dedication before. I don't believe that you will in a partnership, in what as family scientists called coupling, meaning you are a couple. I don't believe that you should not change. Kawawa naman tayo pag hindi tayo nagbago. Because love is supposed to be evolved. It's supposed to evolve from that immature, tweetums, or maybe that feeling-based love to the more mature, more accepting, more understanding, more unconditional kind of love. Di ba sinasabi, you have to love like Jesus and His love is unconditional. Sino bang naka-perfect nun sa marriage? Sobrang galing. Sobrang galing. Siguro, these are the people that we would really look up to. But that's why it's a choice. Friends, can you make that decision? I would like to ask you, for the married ones here, how many times have you made that choice to love despite of waking up not wanting to be loved? Kaya nga, being in love, it's a feeling. Staying in love is a commitment. Let me say it again. Being in love, that elation, that bliss, that kilig of being in love, it's a feeling. But staying in quote unquote love, that is the commitment. And how many times do we wake up, as I said, to the feeling that I would like to love despite of. Ang laki ng comment mo, Madeline, ha? Okay, any comments, any questions, friends? Okay, the third one that I would like you to reflect on. I think I've said this many times whenever I talk about self-worth and all, but I think one of the things that I realized early on when I entered a relationship personally is that Love is not supposed to complete us. Huwag kayong masabi, whenever I give talks to teenagers, especially to high school youth, I tell the girls, ladies, if somebody will tell you, o kahit sa male, sa guys, if somebody will tell you, you complete me. Ayan. Pag nanliligaw sa'yo at sinabihan kang you complete me, get out of the relationship. Don't get in a relationship with somebody who will make you their munchkin on the donut. Hindi tayo pampasak butas. Um, hindi tayo munchkin. Why? Marriage is not supposed to be completing us. We, as an individual, as a person, should always be complete in ourselves whenever we enter a relationship. I would repeat that. We should be complete. Ang proseso natin ng pagiging kumpleto ay hindi hinahanap sa isang partner in life. I've seen so many people looking for themselves in the wrong places, looking for their worth, looking for their completeness in a partner. Kaya there are tendencies for some people who have very wounded and very deep self-worth kung kani-kanino hinahanap. Kaya when one relationship did not go well, they move on to the next. Kasi meron mga tao, feeling nila that only a relationship would complete them. Their completeness is in a relationship. So, pag hindi nila nakuha yung gusto nila and then transfer, para siyang munchkin na iba-iba flavor. Trying to complete that perfect whole. But friends, we have to realize, as mature as we are, I think most of you who are listening here are mature adults, right? Emily, happy anniversary. Magkasunod tayo na anniversary. I would like you to realize that marriage is actually complementing. Marriage should not complete us, but should complement us. Why? Because if you look, uh, we are very different from our partner. We cannot, I don't know if you've watched that movie, that Crazy Rich Asian. And if you remember Astrid, that lady Astrid, remember that she separated from the husband. And what is that line? What is that line that Astrid said towards her husband when at their yung day that they will separate. Do you remember that? Who can tell me? While in the process, but I would like to tell you, she she's filthy rich. And the guy, of course, would like to somehow, I don't know, to compliment or compete. But who's either some couples, I realize, they're trying to complete, and the other one, they're trying to compete. They're competing with each other kung sino mas magaling, sino mas mataas ang sweldo. Or trying to compare the differences they have from each other. But come to think of it, maybe that's why we have our partners. Kahit nasabi natin they're so different, it's because that's how a marriage should be, to complement each other. They are what we don't have. It doesn't mean that we are less of a person. Kaya it's nice that I learn something different with myself, with my partner, and he becomes another version because he is with me. Hindi ba? So, halimbawa, for example, I think I wrote this last year. Mabilis ako, he has his own pace. I'm a morning person, he's a night person. So I learned a little to be a night person, and he learns to be a little of a morning person. It can be frustrating to start because sabi nila, it's does opposite attract? I don't care about opposites because it's not what we're trying to look into. But the more important thing in marriage is that you complement each other. There is such thing as a complementary relationship. What the other one doesn't have, the other one complements, the other one adds up to us. Take note, adds up. I'm not saying fills in. Magkaiba yung pinupuno. And I would like you to realize that never, ever, ever ito sasabihin ko, kahit marinig ako ng iba, kahit marinig ako ng asawa ko, never ever make your partner somebody that completes you, even your kids. Why? They will die. I'm sorry to say, they might go away. And how will we be? That's why so many people lose their sense of worth. So many women, so many moms like us, we lose our sense of worth because we feel that our lives, our worth, who we are, it's connected. Yes, it's connected, but our completeness is only in our marriage and our completeness is only in our kids. Yes, they complete us, they complement us, but they are not us. Are you still with me? Our marriage, they complete us somehow. They more than complement us, but they are not us. So life will be boring if we could not complement. So rather than looking for your completeness in another person, especially with your partner, search for your completeness with your relationship with the Lord. And just to share with you, when I was younger, my prayer is that Lord give me someone who will not take away my sense of self. And yeah, thank God that He heard my prayers. And until now, that sense of self is something that I'm trying to protect. And I am wishing the same thing for you. If you don't know how, go back to my episodes on self worth and relationships, and it's how you protect yourself. And then another one. So the first one, marriage is for the courageous. Second one, marriage is complementing. Love is a daily choice. Third, marriage is complementing, and fourth one, ah, space. What space? Ngayon, pandemic, ngayon nasa bahay most of the time, do you create space in the relationship? There's a favorite quote that I have from the poet Khalil Gibran. He said, "Let there be spaces in your togetherness." Um, in other words, may mga pagkakataon na it's nice that we're together, but it's also nice that we have alone time. We have space in between because, as I said earlier, they're not supposed to be completing us. If we cannot create space in our relationship, that's going to be so enmeshed. If you would like to learn about the enmesh, go to the boundaries that I've discussed with before. But space, um, ang harsh, 'di ba? Bakit kailangan ng space? Halimbawa, minsan parang when I was younger, I don't know if you would agree with me. When I was younger, gusto ko ang issue nare-resolve agad. Gusto ko 'pag nag-away tayo, hindi tayo matutulog, kailangan ayos na. Kailangan okay na. But I realize as I move forward and as I grow older, hindi pala totoo na dapat right away automatic na re-resolve ang issue. There are just some issues that you just need space and then you easily apologize to each other knowing that you have hurt each other. But there are some just issues that are deadlocked and sometimes you don't even know the solution. So, will you still keep rubbing it to talk, to talk, to talk, and to discuss about the issue? Hindi naman automatic lahat ng issue nare-resolve. Sometimes you need space. Space for yourself, space for you to declutter your thoughts, space for you to unblock your emotions, and space for you to just be, to just chill out. Because when you have space in between and you have space inside you, things just have a way of turning things out. Mas napapahinga yung utak pati yung puso, di ba? Yeah, I agree that hindi talaga automatic. When I was younger, I thought all issues it's supposed to be resolved right away. And some issues until now, ulit-ulit, hindi naman automatic na ma-resolve eh. And that is where we go in. That is where the making the marriage work matters. Because in a relationship, space is needed for you to grow individually. So when you're together, you can be the best version of yourself. Because how would you grow kung when you're breathing on each other's neck, you're already in each other's nerves and you don't allow each other to bloom and to grow as a person. So here, you have to make room for both of you to clear out things for you to be better. Because in a relationship, what the things that I've said, marriage is for the courageous, love is a daily decision, marriage is complementing, and space is needed those four things, apat pa lang yung sinabi ko that I have reflected. And when we were younger, we think things differently. We thought that marriage is for everyone, but maybe marriage is really for the courageous. And the second, love is a daily choice. We thought that love is forever. Okay. And third, marriage is complementing. And we thought before marriage is completing. And then fourth, I thought that if you really love each other, there's supposed to be togetherness all the time. No, I realize there's supposed to be space, balance with togetherness. Because here, there's so many things that happens in between. There's so many things, like you are handling your work, your career, you are, having your own profession, you're managing a home, you're managing the kids, you're dealing with your kids, you're dealing with your own family, and you're managing a household. And sobra-sobra na nga yun eh, dun palang kota na, di ba? But in the process, while I prioritize marriage, while we prioritize our marriage, all these things we have to make it work because conflicts will always be there. Discrepancies, issues, challenges, laging meron yan. But if you look at it in the mindset that you need courage, you need to make a decision to love, you make sure that you are your own person and that person complements you, and you continue to create space so you can be a better person when you're together. Isn't it some small details about the marriage that can make it work? Isn't it na kahit na paulit-ulit at balik na rin ang issue, kahit na repeat mode kayo, parang nangyari na to sa atin, it's something for you to relearn and learn and mature from. And so I would leave you with those friends. I will leave you the four things. And I would leave you, if you're single, I would leave you to reflect. If you would like to get married, where are you? What's your mindsets about these four things? About marriage, about love, about being complete, and about space in a relationship. But if you're married and if there are areas that you need to work on too, I invite you, look into how this transpose in your own relationship. Because hindi, it's not a bed of roses being married. it's it's so fun and it's so great to be married, but it's never easy. Hindi siya pa-cute. Minsan dapat magpapa-cute kayo sa isa, pero at a certain point, hindi siya patwitams lang. There are days that you need to be hardcore and courageous in confronting issues. There are days that you would just swallow your pride and bite your tongue to be able to be more supportive and understanding of the person. There are days that you feel you're losing yourself, but you need to remind yourself, hold on. You just have to connect with God because the marriage cannot save us. And there are days that we just have to tell our partner na hiwalay muna tayo today, okay? I will just recharge so you can recharge. So that when we're together, we're gonna be better. Friends, what's your takeaway today? And what is it that what's your mindset now about marriage as adults here, right there in the comment section? What are you doing to make your marriage work? I will continue with this discussion on Thursday. So I hope that you put there in the comment section one takeaway for today and one thing that you think is helping you make your marriage work aside from faith, aside from communication. These are givens. But more than that, I would like you to put there what is it that's helping you to make your marriage work. Because whether you choose it or you don't choose it, if you really would like to have a great marriage, it's a daily habit. It takes daily effort, lots of effort sometimes to be married, to be happily married. And nahulaan nyo na kung ilang years na akong married. I'll see you again on Thursday for another session of Coffee Break. This is Dr. Michele Alignay. I hope that we can all make our marriage work and you can share this to family and friends who might need this daily dose of inspiration. See you again, and I hope to engage with you in our discussion on making marriage work. God bless everyone. God bless your marriages.